This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
Now, 9 to noon has come home to its beloved exclusive Vikings radio network perch, overlooking 4.5 perfectly manicured practice fields. We got Johnny over there driving around the mower. We got Billy and Christy and Susie and Tamika and Antoine working the blowers to make sure everything is nice and spiffy. For when the New England Patriots arrive to Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. They're trickling in now, adjacent to the weight room. And the joint practices begin at noon today. We welcome you to 9 to noon, your audio leader for Minnesota Vikings coverage. And with Eric Nordquist, I'm Paul Allen. Kara Savage guides the great ship Love Covenant at FM 100.3 KFAN. Well, this has worked out quite nicely. For within the last 5 minutes, I mean, we had 3 blowers next to us.
Yeah.
We had 3 lawnmowers working on patches of fields 1 and 2. But the calm and the peace and the tranquility and the serenity of this beautiful day God has given us today has arrived. 9 to noon. The joint practices are at noon today. And look at that over there. Kairos Tonga, who knew?
Is that Federian Lowe over there?
Kairos!
His arms are looking bigger since he left Minnesota.
Look at Kairos catching up with some old teammates by the weight room. I mean, that's a big man in the middle for the New England Patriots, Mike Vrabel's New England Patriots. Can't wait to see the former linebacker for Bill Belichick's New England Patriots, Vrabel of the a handful of Super Bowl winning rings variety. Former head coach of the Tennessee Titans, current head coach of the New England Patriots, and also somebody who I believe is good friends with the man who runs UFC, Dana White. And if he's not, he should be, because what happened during the Washington Commanders joint practices last week with the New England Patriots led Coach Mike Vrabel to dive into a scrum, and he left it with a bloodied face. Rumor has it Dana White was quite impressed with the tenacity, and if and or when they do any celebrity MMA, Mike Vrabel may... Kairos Tonga, who knew? Vrabel may be one of the key players. And good morning.
Good morning, and it was nice. There's got to be at least a couple employees here, part of the groundskeeping crew, that listen, because what they did is they made sure to get all the weed whipping and the blowing done before we went live at 9. So it's just a respect thing, knowing that we're going to be out on the perch.
Thank you, Grant. Appreciate it, man. And the petunias look great over there.
Now, with Vrabel, we do have a little bit of history with him, don't we, where when he was with Tennessee, we did some joints, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And wasn't that, it was Tyre Tart throwing
Bradbury
out of the party type of thing? Now they're,
body slammed him like Vrabel did to some unwilling commander last week, and he got punched in the face for it. Hey.
So I don't know where Tyre Tart is, but we know we'll be seeing Garrett Bradbury over there.
Look at that. Stephon Diggs.
Oh, my goodness.
Mr. Miracle, are you kidding me? Steph, so great to see you back at the facility.
He knows this facility as well as anybody. Frankly, a third of the team used to play here, it feels like, so they can give them directions to everything, including looks like some morning workouts in the weight area over there.
Yeah.
This is awesome. It's beautiful. We've been building up to this. This is what we've wanted, is first preseason game and getting to see the kid QB for the first time in a year. That's cool. That's certainly the A topic.
Yeah.
But we love these joint practices and the ability to kind of sit here in this catbird seat and watch it all unfold in front of us, including, wait a minute, hold on.
Is it him?
It might be him. It is Verderian Lowe.
It's Verderian Lowe.
He wants to join. Oh, is that Jaquelin Roy? Is he in a walking boot? Oh, my goodness.
Verderian, when you played in those preseason games, man, we said nothing but good things about you on the Vikings Radio Network. Well, welcome to the Patriots Covenant, and best of luck over there, man.
Oh, watch out for that football. Josh Dobbs is here.
Yeah, that's Dobbs. Now known as the Patronaut.
A little bit off target, but certainly, yeah, it's as much joints as it is a reunion here. Yeah, it's
a family reunion is what it is.
It's gorgeous this morning. The sprinklers got me a little bit when I first got here and arrived.
Those weren't sprinklers.
They weren't?
No, those were... Those were sprinklers.
Those were sprinklers.
Yeah, those were sprinklers. 3-2.
Okay.
Yeah, enough adult toy conversation for 1 week.
Yeah, we handled all that during the Final Hour podcast with the free iHeartRadio app.
I think what excites me most is it's a 5 or 10%er, but former Minnesota Vikings center Garrett Bradbury, when he arrives with his red, white, and blue, a football immortality. But last year, it was the red, white, and blue of football inadequacy. So they went out and added a lot of players, including Garrett Bradbury. 9 to noon is efforting, as we say in the business, to get Garrett Bradbury to the exclusive Vikings Radio Network perch for one reason and one reason only. So we can chat about his golf game for 10 minutes.
Ah, yes.
Something everybody absolutely wants to hear, and then maybe ask him a Trayvon Henderson question. Kick outside linebackers coach Mike Smith in the nuts and just call it a day, right?
That was the feedback from your interview a week or two ago with Brian O'Neill, is frankly you didn't talk enough about the links.
He hasn't spoken to me for a week.
Now, with Garrett, I don't know how, you've watched a lot of players calling these games over the course of time, and me as a rube, how nostalgic do you get when you run into a guy like a Garrett Bradbury? It's a little different with how sour things ended with like a Stephon Diggs, for instance, but there is part of me, and I don't know why, maybe it's just because I'm an adult child and a rube, but I love seeing what happens after they go.
Oh, yeah.
Like how they handle leaving the nest, so to speak, go to the next team. How does it work out? I'm not rooting against any of these guys, for sure.
Like Carlos Correa goes to Houston, gets 3 hits every game. Chris Paddock, his fastball's 5 miles per hour higher, and he's winning. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Well, but to that end, just kind of there's a bit of nostalgia in terms of the moments they provided us here, and now seeing them in a different uniform and just how that works out. Admittedly, I won't be that nostalgic about Dobbs. Appreciated the game and a half that he gave us.
Right.
But it was out of injury. It was out of an awful situation. And I was super happy to maybe move on from that.
And then he had to pass.
Now, all jokes aside about Verderian, he wasn't here long enough. He felt like maybe he had like one practice. Did he even get to wear the uniform before he was traded to New England? And now he's on the grind.
Jaquelin Roy, I'm sure he's really, really fascinated and or appreciating the rehabilitatory nature of a second-to-none training center they have here. For those who are on the IR looking to get back for week 1 in the NFL, Jaquelin Roy, who knew?
Exactly. So running through those names, and Jaquelin's probably in the cryo chamber right now. They got a cryo chamber here.
I know.
Everything's first class.
After these joint practices, they're going to need that cry. Chamber. Because there's going to be some physicality displayed beginning at noon today at old Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center.
Day 2 always kind of bubbles over a bit more than the first day, right? They still? They're still maybe in exchanging pleasantries mode. They're even potentially cohabitating space in some spots, and there's some niceties being exchanged. But tomorrow, in the heat of the day, that's when Vrabel puts the pads on and he goes one-on-one versus our best to show his squad how it's done.
Well, Vrabel and O'Connell are friends. Vrabel played linebacker. O'Connell played quarterback. So that right there, I'm sure you can find, like Marcus Dixon, the defensive line coach for the Vikings, used to be a defensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys. Chris Cooper, offensive line coach here.
Yeah.
Went to, I think he won a Super Bowl 50 with Kubiak and Ryan Harris. And those cats with the Broncos. So, I mean, you have enough flavor and enough flair where if these coaches need to take out anxiety on each other, you just put Cooper down as an offensive lineman, put Kevin in the shotgun, have Vrabel mug the A-gap. Here he comes, down goes KO, and all the anxiety has been relieved.
You could probably field an old head team among the coaching staffs.
Can you imagine the double moves?
7-on-7?
The double moves Keenan McCardell would put on anybody wearing red, white, and blue?
Who's gonna cover him?
I know.
No one's gonna cover him because they will break. I mean, this is like pickleball injury territory.
Yeah.
As you get a little bit older, still thinking you could do some things.
Yeah, you look at the New England Patriots coaching roster, and there definitely are several who are in off-season mandated pickleball leagues. You know, with like those of the elderly variety, like Doug Marrone. Doug Marrone and Ben McAdoo are taking on Dom Capers, and Bernie Kukar in an unbelievable display of pickleball excellence.
Well, you'd have to wake up Dom, hopefully in time for the match. You know, if you're Drake May, now Drake May, he gets drafted, goes to the Patriots, gets the flavor, gets to play right away.
Let's just pause there and be serious for a second. As the Rubidity leader, it is kind of super cool that Drake May's here today. We watched him a little bit last year. We talked so much about him up to the draft a couple of drafts ago that he's going to be right in front of us. It's Drake May. I think that's cool.
No, I think it's awesome. And it's not just a chance to get to see him. And they like him, and he's developing. Tough season for him, lack of weapons, that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I wonder if there's any part of him. Probably not. He's been in New England a year now, and he's probably acclimated, of course, to Foxborough and Gillette and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is there any part of him sitting here, he's like, this is where I could have been?
Wow.
I mean, he's going to see Addison and Hawkinson running around.
Yeah.
He's going to see JJ yucking it up with Justin Jefferson yucking it up with everybody in sweats. But he's going to be good. He's going to be fine.
He'll be like at Foxborough. The Belichick effect is still in play with the owner Robert Kraft. They don't let people be happy and talk to each other. Here, it's sunshiny every day, and they love each other. I wish I was here.
A rain cloud just follows them around wherever they go up there.
Yeah.
But he's here. I wonder if there's any bit, and he can't let himself get there. I know that. It's all bit. But just the idea, he's like, I could have been here. I wonder what it would have been like, not necessarily getting browbeaten by the Vrabel, the younger Belichick, but being lifted up by Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah.
And how much that would have been different.
Well, remember May was part of that quarterback group with Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, Drake May, quarterback du jour, where I don't know where the interview was or whatever, but it's real. And Caleb Williams was the one who said it, and everybody was like, yeah, we agree with you, Caleb. It's like before the draft, they all were like, well, yeah, I mean, we'd all love to play for Kevin O'Connell. Why? He throws it 60% of the time. He has Justin Jefferson. He loves play action, and he has really cool middle zone schemes, and I happen to be quite good at that. So they all said we would love to play for Kevin O'Connell. That was before the draft. I don't know if it was video or a story or whatever, but
I felt like it was combine bits, maybe, or just kind of in that kind of purgatory between the combine and the draft.
Drake May was part of that. We, by the way, being at the we're home. 9 to noon has come home. Nordo and Sauce have been here select Saturdays, renting the 9 to noon exclusive Vikings Radio Network perch during walkthroughs. And we're happy to be home here at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center on the perch overlooking the practice fields, where Kevin O'Connell will speak at 11:40-ish. Kevin O'Connell speaking at 11:40-ish. 9 to noon actually falls into a free set. 9 to noon actually falls into a press conference that matters, that is live during the course of the presentation. And you know what? Following that, we don't really have much time up to the 10 of Fitz, rolling noon to 3. But I think off the inspiration of that O'Connell press conference at 11:40, being carried by 9 to noon, previewing the Pats, previewing the joint practices. I think maybe in honor of it tomorrow, we take Coach Mike Pettin's, like one of those Pittin reports from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe one like after Dobbs in Atlanta. We just play the whole thing from a nostalgic standpoint.
Why not?
Just play the whole thing and then recap it and cut it up the next segment, talk about the Pittin report, and then move on to segment number 3, day 2 at the old joints.
No, I love that idea. And any other pressers or audio, I mean, if there's anything we missed today from KO, we could probably still cut it up and do some camp clips tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
It is good to be home, my friend. It's good to be in the sunshine. It's good to see these joints. The bad side of it, of course, is Saturday at noon. We're not going to get the same potential excitement, maybe necessarily the same
what do you mean?
Matchups and such that we'll get to see via the one-on-ones.
Punt return battle.
Well, that's
Brosmer Mania.
So that's where I was going to go with this, and you can kind of tell me if I'm being dumb here, and I'm totally open to it.
Huh?
The interesting thing about our team right now is
a lot.
Well, but from the roster standpoint, the quarterback position is a question that will be answered starting week 1 at Chicago with J.J. McCarthy.
You mean like how well he plays?
How well he plays,
Bet.
right? And he's part of a draft class now.
Bet.
If you didn't love Drake May's season and all the factors that went into it, you have to think about Caleb taking control of that job, Penix getting the opportunity he's getting in Atlanta. Bo Nix in Denver had mostly a very good season with Sean Payton. So now it's JJ's turn to really complete the story of that quarterback class.
Right.
But outside of that, I mean, we're sweating, okay, somebody's got to play for Addison the first few games. But it truly is, man, can we get anything out of that 3 technique? No, we have Javon Hargrave, and we have thrust up the middle. We got the pass rush. We love the way the interiors worked. Man, I'm just hoping that this interior, this offensive line finds its way. Oh, well, actually, we addressed that in the offseason, and we know who the names are.
Yeah.
And even now,
are you craving drama?
Well,
because I can give you some.
Okay. Well, okay.
I mean, I live under a cover of darkness. You know exactly that I'm able to find drama.
I know you
on
yes.
at the drop of a proverbial hat. Do you want drama?
Well, that's the thing is I'm kind of a person. I'm not interested in drama, and there was a.
But it finds us.
It does, and some of that's self-inflicted on our part. But,
Same.
But we'll get there. We'll get through it. But it's just there isn't even at the cornerback spot. Like you do actually, you're starting to feel pretty good about Isaiah Rodgers, Byron Murphy Jr., and then you love the ability of an Okudah, and then we can go down the list, of course, of names that can kind of fill out that part of the roster. We are talking about the punt returner. We're talking about how we're filling out the back end of it. Defensive line depth has looked terrific. Maybe some competitive spots in reserve O-linemen. So there just hasn't been a lot of drama. Now you're going to hit me with a cinder block of it potentially.
Well,
I've kind of enjoyed that aspect of camp thus far.
Well, me too. And what I really enjoyed was being on this perch during Bumper to Bumper with Barrero, memorizing the numbers and the numbers and what?
I believe it's is it the body types?
Yeah, the body types of humans running around in football garb. So therefore, during that run, as 9 to Noon has reported and or shared, McCarthy's accuracy needs work.
It does.
Not only in practice, but in games. That's not necessarily a drama point, so to speak. But on the other side of drama would be happiness, would be smooth sailing sands, moderate chop. And to watch Sam Howell perform the way he did Saturday, even against the 2s and some of the 3s for the Texans, that was a beacon. That was a beacon in the middle of a backup quarterback storm because the young man has provided much drama here at training camp against Flores' defense. So that's not the answer when it comes to do you want some drama? I wouldn't necessarily call it drama, but since you brought up that first game against the Chicago Bears, Monday Night Football, KFAN, and the vast and ever-expanding audio network. That'll be September 8th. I will pose this for the scribe, Ben Gessling, when he joins us in the neighborhood of 10 o'clock from the exclusive perch. What do you do with Dallas Turner? I'm just going to lay it out like that.
Yeah.
What do you do with Dallas Turner? Where do you play him? How much do you play him? Do you care that he was a first-round pick? Do you care that Gabriel Murphy is outperforming him in training camp and the Texans game? Do you care that O'Connell came into the Texans game really, really excited to watch the Dallas Turner performance? And I certainly can't say the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings thought it was a bad performance. I wouldn't know. I just know that there wasn't a lot said about 15 after the Texans game, and there was a lot said about 59. So that would be, I guess that would be the potential proverbial dark cloud on the horizon.
Yep, you did it.
Where it's like you look out to the west and you're like, honey, but babe, honey, but babe, honey, but babe. You see the dark skies and you're like, well, we better start closing the windows now and covering the tomatoes and get the chairs all in certain spots so they don't blow all over the yard, honey, but babe. Because there's something on charging.
Yeah.
Not necessarily now, but I'll just lay it out like that. What do you do with that situation?
You did it.
Now, we don't. Now
I'm down.
We don't necessarily. How am I going to put this with injury? Okay, like we hope Hawkinson and Oliver, they play every required snap of every game for the entire season and postseason.
Yes.
All right, and the Vikings are going to the playoffs, so we will say postseason. Well, I mean, what if one of them gets nicked up and they got to miss like 2 or 3 games? What as we see that metaphorical darkness on charging, what do we think about? Everybody teases Johnny Munt for being the best third tight end in the history of the NFL until you don't have him, and now you're wondering, all right, you're a sec. Nesbitt from the practice squad. Bartholomew, can't find him with a searchlight. Something called Giovanni Ricci. He's a veteran. He's played in the NFL several years. How do we feel about that into the old Bears game? The tight end depth. I mean, that's kind of a stretch there. But we did what? What happened? What happened? You requested drama.
Come on.
I gave it to you. And now all of a sudden you've turned your back on me and you're staring at the chief operating officer's palatial office at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. What happened?
This is ridiculous.
Why?
Yeah, I'm down now. Yes, Dallas.
You asked me to make you down, and I'm good at doing that.
So Dallas Turner is not in itself a potential severe storm cloud.
Yeah.
But the skies are gray.
Do you look into the west? Do you see it on charging? I'm just wondering, what do you do with him? What do we do with him? I mean, it's
do you have to force him in? Is how much of it is he's just merely he is I hate to say victim. We are not victims. But he is dealing with the problem of not being able to usurp 2 guys that came in at the same time and were ready to rock, and then took that and even elevated their game to another level.
Yeah.
How much of it is that versus on the other end of things? You trade what you trade to move up and get this kid.
You want drama? Wait a second. I can create drama in a lot of different situations with a lot of different moods bouncing around a household, a business, a radio station, a racetrack, a practice facility.
It's an emotional roller coaster.
All you need to do is tell me that you need it, and I can provide it. And I'm going to provide it right now. Let me get this straight. Free agency takes place before the National Football League draft, right?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so when you sign Jonathan Grenard and Andrew Van Ginkel, why do you trade for Dallas Turner?
Because you did not expect what you were probably going to get.
Then why'd you sign him?
Because I think you got Van Ginkel on a massive deal. I mean, a massive team-friendly deal.
Okay.
So you get him at a value, but you're looking at a guy that's maybe a little bit older and had some splashy plays with the Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Grenard trick, he's brought in to be your A1 pass rusher.
There we go.
And he showed out.
Okay.
Now, Van Ginkel plays above his weight class the entire season from start to finish. In combination with that, you had a situation with the rookie where whether is he getting the scheme down? Is there a little more simplicity to the work? Does he need to grow up? He's super young. Whatever it is, where he kind of instantly gets pushed to the back. Now he's got to prove himself and take that extra step.
I'm with you.
That extra step never occurs.
Yeah. See the drama. This is not Dallas Turner's fault. This is the team's fault. They've put this anxiety on him. They put this problem on him. And they did so at 21 years of age, which may
Flores's fault.
negatively impact the rest of his professional and personal life with
Possibly
what they're
ruin
doing.
his career.
Right. So, I mean, maybe you play him inside. Oh, wait, we tried that against the Lions. Ben Johnson figured it out in 2 series, and then Dallas never saw the inside linebacker spot the rest of the year.
No, he did
You want
not.
any more? Or you want me to stop?
You're killing me.
You know what? Johnny the Mouse Mickelson, captain of the 83 Wayzata Club hockey team, the most formidable club hockey team in the history of the state of hockey. Mouse wore the C for the club hockey team. He wants this to be a Steve's Appliances marathon segment because we have gone a little long. So let's marathon this thing for another 2.5 minutes, courtesy of Steve's Appliances and stevesappliances.com.
I'm kind of excited about Urasec, though.
I'm kind of excited about Steve's Appliances.
Well, thank you, Steve's, absolutely.
And the shop deals. I mean, you talk about shopping deals. The way you just made Van Ginkel's contract sound, it's like we gave him 5 cans of Spam and a $20 bill and said, sit in the corner. I mean, seriously. The gink is on fire. Moosey, this is the Steve's Appliances Marathon segment. And what we are right now, are we more of a Steve's Appliances microwave, or are we a cooktop with the setting on simmer?
Oh,
because it's simmering right now, and then we're going to push that little button. That bad boy's going to get up there to 9. It's all going to be boiling and maybe boiling over once they get hot and unhappy. Steve's Appliances, love you. Thank you very much. Marathons, stevesappliances.com.
On the other end of it, as we create, as I asked for it, and as I asked for it, I received it. To the Urasec thing, I'm just kind of intrigued by his athleticism.
Me too.
He looks like somebody that can play that additional, extra, different part. Kind of in the same vein of, well, here's what we got out of Aaron Jones. Here's what we have out of a Jordan Mason, and potentially
look out!
Well,
a Josh Dobbs pass almost hit you. It was 75 yards off target. Jeez.
Good to see you, Josh.
Yeah.
But
See, that's what friends do.
Your receiver's 20 yards to the left there. Please.
Right.
My goodness.
He's the patronaut, and that ball almost hit you squarely in your back. But anyway,
I already sent one guy to the hospital. What are you trying to do here? Welcome back to Minnesota.
Don't throw a hospital ball to Nordo. Okay, we need him for the next 8 segments.
I just, in the same way you're looking at different, you're looking at how the coaching staff has engineered some of this stuff and looking for different options at spots. And that's how I look at Hawkinson. That's how I look at Josh Oliver, and potentially Urasec. Now he has to step into that. You're totally correct.
Or does he?
That for me is a little less drama built into this than with Dallas. But
are you prepared for some drama? I have some drama for you.
It was some Bryson Nesbitt.
You requested it, and you nailed the name. Bryson Nesbitt is a tight end for the Minnesota Vikings who nobody's ever going to draft on a fantasy football team. All right? But Bryson Nesbitt is long, strong, and ready to get it on. He has arms that stretch from Maui to Maine. As Kevin O'Connell told yours truly, Pete Bursich and Ben Lieber last Friday in this sneaky little production meeting, he can be quite explosive, too.
Really?
And I think Nesbitt had a couple of catches in the Texans game. Now, Nesbitt vying for the 3rd tight end spot. Maybe he wins it, maybe he doesn't. However, here's the drama. What if you put him on the practice squad, Green Bay plucks him like they did Ben Sims, and he's active every game behind Kraft and Musgrave? What if that happens, Mr. Cato?
Okay, well, you can play.
What's going on, brother?
What if you keep Nesbitt?
Well, they got the bomb and drug sniffing dog up here too by the Purge. Boy, things have changed at the old Purge.
Things are serious here.
We stopped bringing the bong up here in 2017, man. Seriously.
Now, don't pet the dog. Okay, that's the key. Don't pet the dog when he comes over here.
I see the puppy. What's your name, buddy? I'm Kevin. How are you? Kevin, good to meet you. Paul Allen, Eric Nordquist. What's the doggy's name? Kika. Hi, Kika.
It's a beautiful pup.
Hey, Kika, what are you doing? Sniffing for bombs and paraphernalia and, like, dime bags and stuff like that? No dime bags?
Well, okay. Well, I mean, it's nice to meet you then.
Yeah. But the Patriots are here. We can't have anything go wrong, right? Yeah. God bless you, buddy. And with exactly whatever you do, be safe, all right? Aw, aren't you sweet?
So you didn't have to swallow those
No, man,
little plastic
I could have been
baggies.
here with an AK-47,
No.
but my man likes Andy's loose, so we're good.
I think they probably have a different setup to be aware of
Sorry about
the
that, bud.
Kalashnikovs on site here at Egan. Drama. There, I got it. What are we going to do with Dallas? And I got now Bryson Nesbitt.
You want Nesbitt to stay on the practice squad. Okay, that's the landing of the plane.
So
you want him to stay on the practice squad. What's going on, everybody?
It's an embarrassment of riches at the position is what's happening.
Oh, you think it's not? Get
Can't
down
keep
to
them all.
Giovanni Ricci. Holy cow! Did you see his blocking in the Texans game?
I mean, we're gonna have a team that has like 3 receivers, but 12 O linemen, 7 outside linebackers,
Wow.
and we're gonna have 6 tight ends. Don't forget about Ricci. He's sneaky.
Damn, it's 9:30.
Yeah, we
are having so much fun out here. This is unbelievably fun. I mean, the energy and the fun and the happiness is so palpable on this perch right now. I'm wishing the program director, Chad Abbott, was here. He actually may be able to feel one of his feet like at 50%. Like, wow, I feel it.
No, he'd be up
Holy
here.
cow, I can stand. Wow, that's crazy.
I've even dried off a chair for him when he needs to sit down, and
So beautiful.
I brought some extra windscreen so he doesn't have to call and complain.
Now, as TimberTech and TimberTech.com goes, what's on deck? Dabusi for 9 to noon includes Bikes Bites. That's going to be around the corner. Bikes Bites around the corner. Ben Gessling, who covers the team for the Star Tribune, he will be on air, on demand, and on fire at this perch at 10 o'clock. We have that Kevin O'Connell joint practice preview press conference at 11:40. What I'm missing is Mike Florio. Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com. That's a 9:40 piece. Personal foul, clock management terrible, but we're excited. Replay third down. Florio 10 minutes from now, and Nordo and Tom West with the Minnesota Vikings did some work under the cover of darkness, and then in teamwork like fashion, we closed on former Minnesota Vikings head coach Brad Childress joining us on the exclusive Vikings Radio Network perch at about 11:15. When we return, we will preview ProFootballTalk.com and everything that's going to come with it for about 5 seconds, and then Mike Florio joins at 9:40. You're listening to 9 to noon from Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center and Minnesota Vikings joint practices against dem Patriots on KFAN.
app.
Vikings football is back. Come find our Mall of America Street team each day at Vikings Training Camp to find out how you could win awesome prizes, including Mall of America mystery cards or tickets to an upcoming Vikings game. Get the full details now at KFAN.com /calendar.
Alrighty, here comes Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com. You know it's PFT. You know we also an author. His newest book is Big Shield, and it drops next Tuesday, August 19th. And Michael joins us now. Mike Florio, are there with the book drop? And I know you can you can get the Kindle or certain things online now, but August 19th, that's a big one for Big Shield. Do you have any book signing stops set up or anything? And good morning.
Good morning. I don't, because football season is coming, and that's my primary gig, and it just chews into whatever free time I have to have to worry about that. I give away some signed copies, and I've done a thing in the past where you can buy a signed copy and I send it out. It's just logistically a pain in the ass, and it's not worth the extra few bucks to do it. I like to make it available at times because people seem to want them. And hey, if you want me to sign it and make it worth less than it already is, that's fine with me, but I'm not planning on doing anything like that. Now, if it really would take off, and I don't know what's going to happen with this one, I think this one's going to do better than any of the others because it's football on top of the mob stuff that I usually like to write about. But we'll see where it goes. It's a fun time. There have been a lot of pre-orders, more than any of the other books that I've had out there combined. So we'll just see where it goes. It helps that it's 99 cents for the ebook, which really is idiotic and stupid, and it's a great deal, and it's amazing there aren't more pre-orders because you can't find anything for 99 cents. And if you're inclined to read it all and you're interested in football and you like a good, compelling mob story, which this is, then you should drop the 99 cents without question.
ProFootballTalk.com is where you can order all of that. Advance order the August 19th piece and more. It's like you scroll down a little bit, very easy to find at ProFootballTalk.com. The New England, we're at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. We're outside on the exclusive Vikings Radio Network perch. The Patriots are here for a couple of joints. The Pats and Drake May. What do you think of the Patriots and Drake May?
I think the Patriots are going to be better than people expect. They've been on this downward slide post-Tom Brady, then post-Bill Belichick. Last year was a disaster with Gerard Mayo, and to their credit, they recognized this isn't sustainable, it's not working, we need to make a change. Mike Vrabel was available. He probably wouldn't have been available after the last hiring cycle. It's idiotic, in my opinion, that the Titans fired him. He's one of the best coaches in the NFL. He'll turn that team around, and he's the right connection to Belichick while also being different from Belichick. You know, there's an awkward relationship at best between Belichick and the Patriots right now. There's some animosity, there's some venom, there's some passive-aggressive stuff that happens. Robert Kraft tried to offer a little olive branch recently, and Belichick didn't seem to appreciate it. So Vrabel is just enough Belichick, and really, it's a combination of Belichick and Bill Parcells. So I think that's going to be good for the Patriots. I think they're going to be competitive right away. With 7 playoff spots in each conference, I think they'll win enough games this year that as we're coming down the stretch in December, they're going to be in the mix. Whether or not they make it, that's going to be up to them.
Did how much of the Vikings-Texans preseason life changer did you and young Alexander watch, and what did you pull from it?
Wire to wire, we watched the whole thing. Xavier Scott, pleasant surprise, the converted receiver.
Right.
He could bump Ty Chandler out of the number 3 spot on the depth chart at tailback. I liked how J.J. looked, throwing a lot of balls to Jordan Addison, which obviously isn't going to happen the first 3 weeks of the season. And hopefully they'll have someone step up, next man up, work their way up the chart. Alex is very concerned about that, thinks they need to add someone. I tend to trust the depth chart, trust the coaching, and trust the system. But everything looked good. Everything looked good. Check the box. And the best news is there wasn't some phantom knee injury for J.J. McCarthy that happened a couple of days after the preseason opener, because that's what went down last year. Everything looked great against the Raiders. Then it's like, oh, he's got a knee injury. Oh, it's a meniscus. Oh, he's out for the year. What the hell?
Right. Obviously, there was the Rondale Moore situation, which was not preferred.
Not good. Not good.
It's unbelievable that, like a year and a day before that, he did the same thing to the other leg in a joint practice against Miami and lost his full season with Atlanta. I mean, that's just terrible for that young man, Rondale Moore.
Yeah, he came out with a lot of promise. Second-round pick from Purdue by the Cardinals. I remember Drew Brees had just joined NBC the year he was drafted, and Brees is a Purdue guy, and he was touting Rondale Moore as a guy who could become a star. And, you know, injuries really prevent anyone and everyone from reaching their full potential, and it's just a shame. The kid can't catch a break at this point. And he was the number 1 punt returner, so that's a hole that's got to be filled on the roster. I think Lucky Jackson is the one who bumps up under the current depth chart, but we'll see how they let it play out.
Now, with the Green Bay Packers, their quarterback Jordan Love is having surgery on a finger on his left hand. They say he's good for the opener, so probably nothing to see here, right? Or is there something to see?
I think the bigger issue is this, and Chris Sims and I talked about this today on PFT Live. The kid's in a tough spot. First of all, he gets drafted into a dysfunctional situation between the Packers and Aaron Rodgers, and he's stuck on the bench for 3 years while that works itself out. Now he's entering as the next guy in this legendary chain of Hall of Famers from Favre to Rodgers, and now here's Jordan Love. And even though the first half of 2023 was not great, he found his groove in the second half, propelled them to the postseason. They destroyed the Cowboys on the road. They almost beat the 49ers in the divisional round of the playoffs, raised the expectations, $55 million contract, knee injury week 1. I think he came back too early for the Week 4 game against the Vikings. And I think that what he's got to do, he's got to find a way to kind of stay within himself and not freak out. I feel like there's an urgency by him at all times to justify his status and justify his contract. You look at the play that he got injured on. It was his last snap in the preseason opener against the Jets. He's running around like it's the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl. You got to just get rid of the ball. If the play's not there, just get rid of the ball.
Right.
That's one of the most important things any quarterback can learn. And I think for a lot of quarterbacks, it's instinctive. You have to turn off that desire to make the big play all the time, because that extra half second where you're trying to make the big play is the thing that can get you injured. And so the key for Jordan Love is work on the ways that you avoid getting the hits that can get you injured until it's an instinct. And then secondly, when you're injured, don't rush back. And I think he did that last year. I think he played through too much, and I think that hurt his performance. And for all we know, hey, the guy's out there, the guy's playing. He just isn't as good as he used to be, when the truth may be he was less healthy than he was the year before.
Mike Florio, ProFootballTalk.com. The book Big Shield, his newest presentation, drops or is released next Tuesday, August 19th. Learn more at ProFootballTalk.com. Cam Hayward of the Steelers. He's a hold-in and wants a new deal. Okay. This is the same Cam Hayward who in March told Aaron Rodgers, either you're in or out, there's no in between.
Don't use his words against him. You either want to be a Steeler or you don't. He wants to be a Steeler. He just wants to be paid more.
Okay.
And here's my concern, Paul.
Right, but it's double talk. He's talking out of both sides of his mouth.
Well, no. He wants to be a Steeler. He just wants to be paid. Here's my
so did
point.
Aaron Rodgers.
Going into the 24 offseason, there was a lot of talk from Cam Hayward about finishing out his contract, possibly becoming a free agent, going to play for the Browns. He wants to be a one-helmet guy. He does a deal, and he said earlier this week that after he did that deal, he told the team, when I make first-team All-Pro this year, I'm coming back next year. And he said they giggled, and that gave him motivation. Well, why? You know, if you're motivated to be first-team All-Pro, why are you signing a contract that ties your hands at $14.5 million a year?
Thank you.
I have a ton of sympathy for the guys who have no way to negotiate the deals they're stuck with when they're drafted. If you're the 28th pick in the draft, you get a contract commensurate with being the 28th pick in the draft, and that's it. It's not negotiable. You can't haggle. That's it. There are very few terms on which you can bargain. When you're a free agent or when you're a veteran, you've got options. And so when you choose to do a 2-year deal with an average value of $14.5 million, when you're entering the last year of your contract, you're taking that security. And then after 1 year, as you enter the 2 new years, you're like, hey, I was an All-Pro, I want more. It's like, dude, you should. And I love Cam Hayward, but the reality is, dude, you either don't do the contract or you build terms into the contract that will give you a significant bump if you are a first-team All-Pro. You don't just say, oh, when I'm an All-Pro next year, I'll come back and we'll talk again. They giggled because they're thinking, we got your signature on this contract, buddy.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. So he's got some responsibility in this, and as you get deeper into your career and you're doing these contracts, sometimes you just do a deal that ended up being not a great deal for you because you took the bird in the hand instead of rolling the dice on the 2 in the bush. And, you know, that's true for Trey Hendrickson right now. It's true for Cam Hayward. For a lot of the veterans players who are in the back end of the contract that they negotiated and they don't like, they've got some responsibility for that.
All right, lastly, you mentioned the Cleveland Browns. And outside of perhaps Negan needing to find his bat with all of these speeding tickets and situations like that, what did you think of Shedeur Sanders in his debut?
Well, I believe that Shedeur Sanders had opportunity knock, and he took full advantage of it. And he explained it perfectly after the game. He said, hey, you know, and ignore the people who were saying the Browns were setting him up to fail. Even the Browns aren't that dysfunctional. They drafted the guy. They want the guy to succeed. They didn't draft him so then they could prove they shouldn't have drafted him. He was getting the fewest reps because he was number 4 on the depth chart and still is. He gets thrust into the starting role because 2 of the guys in front of him are injured and the other one they're keeping in bubble wrap because he's presumably the week 1 starter. So you can either say, oh, woe is me, I'm not as prepared as I would be, or you could say, hey, this is what I want. And that's what he said. When you want to play and the opportunity comes, you don't say, oh, man, I'm not ready, or why are you doing this to me? You say, yes, let's go. So I think he played well. He showed good instinct, sliding in the pocket, stepping away from pressure, nice touch on the ball, not too big for the the moment, or the moment wasn't too big for him is the more accurate way to say that. But I was impressed. Now, does that mean he should be the starter? No. Does that mean it should impact the evaluation? How can it not? How can it not? Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel were injured. Shedeur Sanders played and played well. And now we'll see what he does. It's a building block. What's he do in the Week 2 preseason game? How much do they play him in Week 3? I also think the more that he does well, you're going to have fans that want to see him. And between Joe Flacco and Shedeur Sanders, all things equal, let's see what the young guy can do.
You're spectacular. Thank you very much for joining 9 to noon. Looking forward to calling you next Wednesday. If you're
running me off early. See, I didn't know you were bringing me on early so you could run me off even earlier than you otherwise would. I asked for double my pay. Maybe I should get half my pay because you cut my time this week.
The point being, this is a big week. Big Shield releases Tuesday. So we know that you have a lot of things to get buttoned up by Tuesday, and we can't wait to talk to you Wednesday to see how everything went.
For another 10 minutes about Big Shield. But
Thank you, my brother.
Something else coming up. Somebody bigger than me. Who's coming up? Fran Tarkenton? Alan Page?
Kevin O'Connell's father, Bill O'Connell, who was in the
tell Bill I
FBI
said
for
hello.
30 years and took down John Gotti. So we're going to talk about that gangster lane. No, I'm just kidding. We got to run. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
Mike Florio, PFT, let's wedge in some Bikes Bites around the corner. And then the Scribe joins us at about 10 o'clock from the Minnesota Vikings plush practice facility at Twin Cities Orthopedics Performance Center. We are 2 hours and change from mark for the Vikings and New England Patriots to bang around for a couple of hours in the business. We call them joint practices. We happen to be quite excited about them. And we are sharing said jubilation at FM 100.3 KFAN.
Mall of America's mystery cards are back, and we are bringing them to you all summer long. Come grab yours at KFAN events throughout summer and wherever you find our KFAN street team. Then make sure to redeem them at Mall of America for fun prizes and big discounts. See full list of events at KFAN.com keyword calendar.
All right, let's unfurl the best 4 minutes of Vikes Bites in the history of Vikes Bites, and here they are.
Vikes Bites. Vikes Bites.
Vikes Bites.
Brought to you by Thousand Hills Lifetime Grazed Grass-Fed Beef. You can shop online. Box of meat shows up at your doorstep, which is sweet. You can learn about regenerative agriculture, the nutrient-dense beef that you're getting. It's a Clearwater, Minnesota product. Find them at Coburn's, Co-ops, Kowalski's locations. And let's start here. Some news yesterday. First, sadly, it was confirmed that Rondale Moore's season is over. He did indeed suffer a season-ending knee injury. On that, I don't know if the hip drop tackle, I've seen a little bit kind of playing into that conversation in terms of how he was brought down. It didn't necessarily look like that to me, but in the end, sad news for Rondale. But part of the transactions that were taking place yesterday, PA, 2022 third-round draft pick Brian Asamoah was also waived by the team, saves them about it's $1 million and change that they'll save in 2025 by making this move. It also, you can look at it in the way it's kind of respectful of Brian, an opportunity maybe before the end of camp to catch on with another organization and continue things. But there was a lot of scuttlebutt yesterday, as you could imagine, PA, because you look at the 2022 draft class, and now you have Asamoah waived. Seen is gone. Booth is gone. Ingram is gone. Asazia Tomowa is gone. Verderian Lowe, he's here, but he's here with the Patriots. Nick Muse is gone. The only two members of that class remaining, Ty Chandler, potentially in a position battle, and then Jalen Naylor finding his way. So a lot of people down, and we've chronicled this before, and I think it's also fair to see from 2022 what happened in 2023, what happened in 2024, and now this year as well. But the 2022 draft class, PA, is about all done for and done with here in Minnesota.
It's one of the worst in my quarter century calling games for this team. They recognize that it wasn't good. So there are one of two ways to do it, and I've seen both over, and as has our guest in about 10 minutes, Ben Gessling. It's one of two ways. You either force it into a spot it doesn't belong because, damn it, I'm going to be right. or you move on from it. Kind of like what the Patriots did last year with Gerard Mayo. I think they're paying him off 2 years at a head coach's salary just to leave because it just didn't work. So they're like, we have this opinion. We were wrong with this opinion, so let's all move on.
Do you think, complete aside here, not even a Vike bite, do you think Gerard Mayo, like he suffered by being the guy that replaced Belichick? Or was there even a possibility that, and it's, you get the job and it's up to Gerard Mayo, by the way, if given the opportunity, he's got to decide whether he's worthy of it, take hold of it, and do the right stuff, right? So the wins and losses are on Gerard.
Right.
But in some ways, you're put in a spot where maybe you probably weren't the best choice to be the head coach of the team, but they like Gerard and they want to give him that opportunity. And by all accounts, it's not like Gerard was an evil entity with the Patriots a year ago, but you have to replace immortality in Belichick. It might be you're punching a little above your weight class right out of the gates. And they gave him that money, and the Patriots made that choice. They got to pay him too. But it's almost like that kind of felt like it never had a real chance to get off the ground and succeed.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. When you're fired after one season, well, that means that they have so little respect in what you were doing as a head coaching leader. They just don't want you around.
Yeah.
And that's more than practice. That's more than the final scores. That's what goes into the final scores, what they're hearing from other people as they privately chat with them. And behind the scenes stuff, it's like there probably was no hope selling.
Okay.
You know, Gerard, just give me a morsel here, man. Just give me a couple of morsels so we have something about which to think during this 6-game losing streak. There's just a lot that goes into somebody getting the job, completing the job, and then being asked to leave. And yeah, we know, we owe you 10 to 15 to 17 million dollars.
Bikes Bites.
Bikes Bites.
Brought to you by 1,000 Hills, Lifetime Graze, grass-fed beef. I'm going to ask Gessling the same question when he joins next hour. Is there a player that you, speaking of weight class, that you'd like to see step up in weight class this week? Many thinking, like a Max Brosmer, right? I bet, Rube Nation is all over this QB2 idea with Brosmer. So they want to see him step up in weight class this week. I'm thinking a guy like Xavier Scott. I want to see him rough and tumble against these cats this week, see him to continue to build off of what he did in that first preseason game. But maybe it's a Gabe Murphy. Mekhi Blackman is another name that I would like more. I would like to see more action on the field and might earn more conversation off it via 9 to noon. Maybe one of the receivers we've talked to. Is there one particular guy you're like, man, with this opportunity, Vrabel and company in town, like I'd love to see them step up a weight class and take advantage of it?
Yeah, it's Lucky Jackson. It's Lucky Jackson and/or Indiana rookie receiver Miles Price. Because see, with we'll get into this more with Ben, but with Addison out the first 3 games, you can play the practice squad game, and middle of Saturday, elevate somebody from the practice squad, make them active on Sunday, and they can play receiver and/or return punts. So the punt return situation is an under the radar bit for most. Why? Because it has nothing to do with fantasy football. Until you got guys back there who are nervous and they're dropping it, and we have muff punts and the Bears start inside the 20. Then all of a sudden it really, really matters. That topic and a lot more with Ben Gessling from the Star Tribune next.